Madhava Kunya Vihari Radha Madhava Kunya Vihari Pijana Valla Vagiri Bharat Hare Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadari Yasodanandana Rajanadanyana Yasodanandana Rajanadanyana Yamunatira Vanachari Vanacha slow Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Brajajanadanyana Yasodanandana Brajajanadanyana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna A little louder please Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Papu Parat, Papu Parat, Papu Parat, Sila Papu Parat. Naya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Naya Radha, Parthasarthi, Radha, Bhajanati, Radha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
हरे कृष्णा। सभी भक्तों के लिए सूचना है कि वो भक्त जो अंग्रेजी समझ नहीं सकते उनके लिए पीछे अनुवाद की व्यवस्था है, कृपया सुविधा का लाभ उठाएं। हिंदी में अनुवाद पीछे होगा, जहां पर वो नया मॉडल रखा गया है संकीर्तन का, उसके पास। हरे कृष्ण।
अच्छा। Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. We read today from the 5th canto, chapter 26. There will be a few verses, it's text 6, I think, but I will read 4. What did you say? Ajit Govinda, from 3, yes. From 3, yes, good. Ate danim pratisada lakshnasya dharmasya tataiva kartu Shataya Vaishadrishat Kanama Phalam Vishadrisham Bhavati Ya Etyanadi Avidyaja Krita Kamanam Tatparinama Lakshana Shitaya Sahasrashab Pavitastasam Prachuryena Nuvana Yeshyama. Translation. This is a very it's there, where Acha. Please read along, it is a long text. Just as by executing various pious activities, one achieves different positions in heavenly life, by acting impiously, By acting impiously, one achieves different positions in hellish life. Those who are activated by the material mode of ignorance engage in impious activities, and according to the extent of their ignorance, they are placed in different grades of hellish life. If one acts in the mode of ignorance because of madness, his resulting misery is the least severe. No? So when you find a madman sometimes, and he may do terrible things, but it's not so severe, the reactions. One who acts impiously but knows the distinction between pious and impious activities is placed in a hell of intermediate severity. And for one who acts impiously and ignorantly because of atheism, the resultant hellish life is the worst. Because of ignorance, every living entity has been carried by various desires into thousands of different hellish planets since time immemorial. I shall try to describe them as far as possible. Rajuvacha naraka nama bhagavan kim desha vishesha tava bahistrilokya ahosvit antarala iti. Translation. So King Parikshit inquired from Shukadev Goswami, "My dear Lord, are the hellish regions outside the universe, within the covering of the universe, or in different places on this planet?" So he wants to know where exactly are the hellish regions. Then the Rishir Uvacha, Antarala evatri jagatyas tudishi dakshinasyam adashtat bhumer uparichachchajalad yasyang agniva tatadaya pitri ganadishi svanam gotranam paramanena samadina satya eva shisha ashasana nivasanti. So translation. The great sage Sukadev Goswami answered, all the hellish planets are situated in the intermediate space between the three worlds and the Garbhodaka ocean. This is those who know, they will understand. They lie on the southern side of the universe beneath Bhumandala and slightly above the water of the Garbhodaka ocean. Pitri-loka is also located in this region between the Garbhodaka ocean and the lower planetary systems. All the residents of Pitri-loka, headed by Agnishvata, meditate in great samadhi on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and always wish their families well. I know when we read so much text in the morning, it's very difficult to grasp and hold something. But listen to it anyways, it acts like a medicine in you. No? It is pure sound vibration. Just as soon I will talk and make jokes and everything, and it's easy then, no? But now we have to just listen through the ear and let it go into the heart, okay? Like taking medicine. This is anti-corona vaccination hearing. Purport. As previously explained, below our planetary system are 7 lower planetary systems, the lowest of which is called Parthalaloka. Yes. Beneath Parthalaloka are other planets known as Narakaloka, or the hellish planets. At the bottom of the universe lies the Garbhodaka ocean. Therefore, the hellish planets lie between Parthalaloka and the Garbhodaka ocean. Good. Yes. Yes. Okay. Fine. We come now to today's verse where we will read the purport. Yatraha java bhagavan pitri rajo vaivasvataha svavishayam prapipteshu svapurusha jantushu sampariteshu yata kamavatyam dosham evanulangita bhagavachasana sagano dhammang dharayati. Translation. The king of the Pitas is Yamaraj, the very powerful son of the sun god. He resides in Pitri-loka with his personal assistants, and while abiding by the rules and regulations set down by the Supreme Lord, has his agents, the Yamadutas, bring all the sinful men to him immediately upon their death. After bringing them within his jurisdiction, he properly judges them according to their specific sinful activities and sends them to one of the many hellish planets for suitable punishments. Purport. Yamaraj is not a fictitious or mythological character. He has his own abode, Pitri-loka, of which he is king. Agnostics may not believe in hell, but Shukadev Goswami affirms the existence of the Naraka planets, which lie, who remembers where they are? Between, you are reading, no? Between the Gabodaka ocean and Parthasarthi, yes. So there is the ocean, and then there is Parthasarthi, and then it goes up. And in between Parthasarthi and the Gabodaka ocean, there you find Narakaloka. So Yamaraj is appointed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to see that the human beings do not violate his rules and regulations. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Kamano chapi bodhavyang cha vikarmana. We can all say, Akarmanascha bodhavyang gahana kamano gati. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. One should understand the nature of karma, vikarma and akarma, and one must act accordingly. This is the law of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The conditioned souls who have come to this material world for sense gratification are allowed to enjoy their senses under certain regulative principles. If they violate these regulations, they are judged and punished by Yamaraj. He brings them to the hellish planets and properly chastises them to bring them back to Krishna consciousness. By the influence of Maya, however, the conditioned souls remain infatuated with the modes of ignorance. Thus, in spite of repeated punishment by Yamaraj, they do not come to their senses, but continue to live within the material condition, committing sinful activities again and again. Please join me. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachanine Nivishesa Sunyavadi Askatyane Sadarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya O Nityananda Yadvaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaumaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. So here we find shocking description, really, where we are cautioned to see that we act properly in this human form of life. Because if we do not act properly, there will be a punishment which we cannot escape, even if we try. It is not possible. Now, I think we all know that to act according to our knowledge is not always easy. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the example of a man who is addicted to alcohol. He knows that alcohol drinking is dangerous for his health. It ruins his relationships at home to his wife and his children. It is quite expensive and makes one poor, but he cannot help himself and abstain from alcohol completely. He is driven by his powerful senses, and cannot act against them. Who is fat? I think the fat people amongst us have this experience also. They don't want to eat so much because not awake, we are more easily tired, and from excess weight, undesirable diseases come. But then comes the situation where they go and follow an invitation, and there everything is there: hot puris, doshas, itva, what else? Jalebis, and so on. And so they know, if I take this, I will become more fat and will have more difficulty in the not from eating too much. Although they know. Actually, all of us, we may not be fat, but we all know this problem, no? We know something, but to act according to it is very difficult. Or we know it's good to rise and be there in the temple for Mangal Arati, and then winter is there, the blankets are very, very warm, and in Mangal Arati only a few people will be there. And I preached so late yesterday, and anyways, so-and-so brahmachari also doesn't get up. Then, although we have a certain knowledge, it is not easy to act upon it. Do you all understand this problem? I've given 3 examples. Do you sometimes struggle with this problem? I think yes. So, in the Bhagavatam, we learn that there are 2 types of strengths. One is your own, and one is the strength given by the Lord. Your own strength is always limited, but the strength given by the Lord is unlimited. And Prabhupada writes about this in the purport to the 9th canto, 10th chapter, 21st verse. He says, there are 2 types of strength: Daiva and Purushakara. Daiva refers to the strength from the transcendence, and Purushakara refers to the strength organized by one's own intelligence and power. And transcendental power is always superior. The example is in the fight against Ravana, the monkey army had actually no chance. The Rakshasas, led by Ravana, had very, very developed weaponry, like tanks and guns and missiles. And they fought also with a lot of mystical power. Remember Indrajit, no? And on the other hand, there were the forest dwellers who lived in the forest, the monkey, and they had only stones and trees and their nails. So Ravana was laughing about the army of Ram. He said, you want to fight the Rakshasas? Can you not think clearly? So he was laughing at that time in his room. At that time, he noted a monkey in the room. It was Angada. Angada, you must be knowing, no? Son of Bali. Angada said, "You are laughing because you think the monkeys are powerless?" Ravana said, "We don't speak with monkeys, get him out." They couldn't. Angada said, "Try to lift my leg from the floor." Tiny monkey. Ravana, huge, 10 heads. I'm trying to see. No picture is of Ravan. What? Monkeys are there, but not Ravan. Yeah, what does Ravan do in the temple? So Ravan said, because he had seen they couldn't remove Angada, he really thought it was beyond his honor to measure his strength against the strength of a monkey. But eventually he came and he took the leg of Angada and he wanted to bring it off the floor, high, like this, but it was not possible. Then Angada said, "You have only your own strength. With your own strength, you are not as strong as me, because I have also the strength which Lord Rama has given me. The Daivi, not the Purushakara, the divine strength. And therefore, you are not able to lift even my toe off the ground." No? Jai Sri Ram, no? We can definitely appreciate it. So, I would like to raise a question today to you. Do you think for you it is possible to act with the Daivi strength? Do you think it is possible? It's a good question, isn't it? Your good name? Adi Gopi Gopa Nimai Das, the most fastest kartal player I have ever seen in the universe. Is it possible for you to play soft and slow kartals? This is what it would mean, no? By your own strength, I think it is impossible, because too many chilies in the blood This I've seen in your Kirtan in Delhi, Mridangas and Kirtans. If in 30 seconds there are 3,000 miles an hour, so fast, and Hare Krishna. But we have to accept there's nothing which can change it, except there comes some Daivi Shakti in the Kartal players and Mridanga players. But you are very pure in your chanting. Shuddhanam, that is... My dear devotees, no, let us be a little bit thoughtful now. Do you think that you can change your nature, your material nature, and act with spiritual, act due to spiritual strength on another level? I would like to try to answer this question. Actually, I normally need 3 lectures for this, but I will try to give you a summary of this by telling you a lie about an example who act on the divine Shakti. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. We are grateful to him because he actually wrote the most authoritative work on the life and teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is very interesting that when he wrote, he himself did not think he could write. He said, "I'm old and troubled by invalidity. I'm almost blind and I'm deaf. I cannot hear anything. My hands tremble and my mind and intelligence is unsteady. It keeps forgetting. I'm infected with so many diseases that I can neither properly walk nor properly sit. Indeed, I'm always exhausted by 5 kinds of diseases. I may die at any time of the day or night. Still, I'm writing. This is a wonder." When the hand is trembling like this, how can you write? If the mind is so much vata and therefore unsteady and it cannot remember, I experienced this at this stage of my, I'm only 60 plus, age old, but I forget many verses which I knew yesterday. Today I've forgotten 50 of these verses. Yeah, this is happening in old age because the vata is increased, no? Every day. You may tell me, for instance, this devotee has told me his name twice. At this moment I have forgotten, because this old age. But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote in his work, I believe, 2,500 Sanskrit verses. Before he remembered them. Not verses like Savadamang Parijaja, which everyone knows, very difficult and long verses. He remembered them. Although it is not possible really to imagine a man who is that old to remember anything. But he did, because he was empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. That was his example. When do receive Daivi Shakti? I think all of us, here's our book distributor, Prabhu, is there a good name again? Hanuman? Wow! Hanuman Das. Hare Krishna. This is the best name. When you're distributing books, sometimes it is very difficult to convince people to take a book. You experience this also, and you become desperate. You could walk on your hands. They will not take the book on some days, no? But when there is, when one gets kripa and the divine strength, then it is possible. How do you receive divine strength? You must open your heart to receive it. Let us study Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He lived in a joint family system somewhere in Bengal, Jamatpur. There was some quarrel and misunderstanding in his house, and in the evening, when he went to bed, he had maybe slept for an hour or so. All of a sudden, he heard a voice, Uta! Uta! Uta means wake up. And he looked, and he saw Lord Nityananda with some cowherd boys or associates who were dressed like cowherd boys. And Lord Nityananda said to him, I have it in Sant in Bengal. He said, Vrindavan Jao, go to Vrindavan. Don't worry, there was some aparats, some offenses were done in the home. Go to Vrindavan, for there you will attain all things. Now, Krishnadas Kaviraj had no plan to go to Vrindavan. But the Lord had appeared and given an instruction. So he was open to it. When he woke up in the early morning, it is Sekshane, that very moment, he left his home, he left his family, he left his books, he was a Kaviraj, he left his palm leaves and pens, he left everything and set out. If you wish to be empowered for something new, you need to be a little bit detached to your old ways, which keep you. Is it clear? No? When we are attached to our old ways and we do the old things which we do every day, we cannot expect that something new will happen in our lives. No? True? One definition of craziness is you keep on doing the same things and think in the same way and expect a different result. It doesn't work. You have to be open when the instruction comes to change your old ways and be bold and poetically step into nobody's land. You have to do something which is not defined, which you have not experienced before. Therefore, all human beings are encouraged to go to the holy places from time to time, where you just leave home and at least for some time go to holy places where you do new activities, you hear about Krishna, you do more spiritual activities, so that something new can happen in your life. You need to open yourself. This is the first. Be detached from your own plan and trust in Krishna's plan. He knows better than any one of us. And don't be rebellious. When Krishna closes one door for you, he might have opened 3 other doors somewhere else. No? Like, here, see this Mataji who's just walking through the door. She tried here, I heard some banging, it was closed, but another door opened for her. And she could come through the side door into the temple. So when Krishna closes a door, that means what you regularly do and think, don't be so angry, don't feel so hurt, don't become so distressed, but look, where is a door opening for you, and trust that and go through it, and a new life will develop. So what is the first principle for someone who wants to be empowered? Be open. Yes, open your heart. Hanumanji is saying, open your heart. Don't close it. And be detached. Good, fine. I will ask you a few times what are the principles, so better listen. Otherwise you might look as if you're not listening. Could happen. The second thing we also see in Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He went to Vrindavan and he immediately went to the Govinda Mandir. Can you imagine what the devotees were doing at that time? I did also not know, so I will tell it. See, this is the generation after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu had just disappeared. So these devotees missed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very much. They heard about him, they came a little late. It's maybe a little bit like some of you who think, oh, it would have been so nice if I would have been alive and a little bit intelligent when Prabhupada walked amongst us, no? But I came a little late. So what do you do when you come a little late, like these devotees? Well, they listened about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were sitting in the Govindaji temple and they listened from those who had seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or they read the only existing book at that time, which was, maybe you remember, Chaitanya, Murari Gupta had written a work, that's true, and Chaitanya Bhagavad was already there. It was circulated amongst the devotees from Vrindavan Das Thakur. No? It was known at that time, I think, as Chaitanya Mangala. No? So they were listening from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Bhagavad only describes the early pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, not the later pastimes. They didn't know this. So they asked, so Krishnadas comes from Bengal. He is a poet. He can write, a Kaviraj can write. And the Vaishnavas see he has such good qualities. And the main quality is Krishnadas Kaviraj did not come to Vrindavan to just look around. He had a desire to serve, to be of service. He had a very strong desire to be of service. So the other devotees saw that. And they had a need. They wanted to know about the later pastime. So they said to Krishnadas Kaviraj, can you write a second book on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which describes mainly the later pastimes? Krishnadas said, I'm not qualified to write, and I don't know so much. There was at that time one devotee who knew everything. The disciple of Swarup Damodar Goswami, who was the personal secretary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is his name? Raghunath Das Goswami. Every afternoon at around 4 o'clock, he opened his kutir, he sat and he talked for 4 hours about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. 4 long lecture. And all the devotees at that time knew about this. So Krishnadas Kaviraj listened to the lectures. He studied there was a few small works, and he compiled all these pastimes, and he started to write. No, did he start to write immediately? He said, Prabhu, I want to do this service, but I just can't. It's almost as if Ajit Govinda tells me, you know, Mohan Rupaji has requested you to give your lecture in Hindi, because this is, everyone speaks Hindi. And I would say, I'd like to do, but I only know Ayushman Bhava, and I know things. What else do I know? Prasad lijiye, you know. But to give a complicated lecture with translations from Sanskrit in Hindi? Impossible. Impossible. Aham murk. I cannot speak Hindi. And then Ajit said, no, try, Maharaj, try. I said, I can't even try. I can only say Prasad lijiye, finished. Ho kya? Pravachan ho kya? Prasad lijiye. This is all I can do, you know. But more is not possible. More is absolutely not. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami felt like this when the devotees told him, please write about the later pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He just could not even imagine to do it. So what did he do? He went to one temple. Remember? Madan Mohan temple. You know everything. He went to Madan Mohan's temple and he prayed. Oh, the Vaishnavas have requested me to do this, but I'm not able to do it. So we all know the pastime. When he was praying, one garland slipped from Madan Mohan's beautiful neck, and the priest who was in attendance, he could understand there's something going on between Madan Mohan and this old Vaishnava. And so he took the garland which had fallen from Madan Mohan or slipped, and he put the garland around the neck of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. This is the second lesson. When you are called to do something which you feel incapable of doing, go to Hare, Guru, Vaishnava. Where do we go when we want to be empowered? Very good. But you must come in a certain mood. Otherwise, Hare Guru Vaishnava cannot help you. You must have a desire to serve. Lord Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, Tat Vidi Pranipatina. We must come in a submissive mood, and we must offer sevaya, service. Then, when we have the desire to serve and even serve, then when we go to Hare Guru Vaishnava, to the Lord, to the spiritual master, and to the Vaishnavas, we can be empowered. Remember Srila Prabhupada, when he was praised, he said, "It is all the mercy of my spiritual master. He has empowered me." He wrote this in the afterword of Chaitanya Charitamrita, his translation and his purpose. He said, "My Guru Maharaj is always in my heart, and it is due to his mercy that I'm doing my service." No? So have the desire to serve, and then go to the Hare Guru and Vaishnava. The last thing I will talk about today is when you want to do something which is beyond you, and you have opened your heart to Krishna, and you have also begged Hare Guru Vaishnava for empowerment, you must be prepared in the beginning to face hardships. When you run away, as soon as the first difficulties appear, you will not be empowered. The hardships must be faced. I see this in Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he was sitting in Vrindavan and trying to write. There were many obstacles. He had to get palm leaves, he had to get ink from flowers, and then the most difficult thing, he had to survive the summers. Summer in Vrindavan, have you experienced? Pooh, it's hot. You don't need to shave. Your hair burns by the heat, It is. And winter in Vrindavan, I think we are all getting ready. This year is the most coldest winter, will be the most coldest winter India has seen for a long time, I've heard. Get ready, get some blankets, extra blankets and so on. Delhi has also a similar climate, I believe, no? But in Delhi we have good buildings and we have electrical heater. In Vrindavan, only if we are belonging to the renounced order of life. I'm joking about the sannyas ashram here. Then we can get a heater. Yes. So you have to be prepared, you have to face difficulties, and you have to be willing to overcome this. Srila Prabhupada wrote in the Bhagavatam, and I request you, I first will read the quote, and then he says, an easygoing life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. I really request you to read this purport, especially the brahmacharis. It's really nice. Here is the quotation for you. You will find it in the, please note down, Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 9th chapter, text 24. Shall I repeat? 2, 9, 24. An easygoing life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. So if you wish to be empowered, you have to embrace difficulties. If you want that something works in you, of the Daivi Shakti, this is very important. I have a godbrother who has left the body a few years ago, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Have you heard about him? Yes. He wrote something really nice. He said, if your desire to serve is beyond your capacity, but still you act without hesitation, that is the moment empowerment happens. Can we have this in Hindi? Ajit Govinda. This, or who is a good translator? You also know to translate? Good. So come here, Prabhu. Come to me and you can read here. No? If your desire to serve is beyond your capacity,
यदि आप अपनी क्षमता से ऊपर जाकर सेवा करने की इच्छा रखते हैं,
but still you act without hesitation,
फिर भी आप बेहिचक प्रयत्न करते हैं, कार्य करते हैं,
that is the moment empowerment happens.
तब ही आपको शक्तिपात प्राप्त होता है.
Yes, thank you. So you want to do it, but you are really incapable. You cannot do it. Your intelligence is not developed, your physical strength is not developed, your willpower is not strong enough, but somehow you just wish to do it. Oh, it would be so nice if it could be done. That moment, my dear devotees, when you are not going back, but you're embracing this difficulty, you get empowered. Practical example. I think all of you go out on book distribution and know what it is, or have gone out, no? You are going on the streets in Delhi, and people are not inclined to take books that day. Maybe Rahu is strong, or who knows, you know. They are in their sati, they are all in their bad period astrologically. And books are, or you are in your sati, you know, and it's not it's not going well. And you think, what is the use? I better go into the temple and maybe I can clean the brahmachari ashram or do something, you know, like simple. But you still you want to do it, and you try, and whoop, all of a sudden you meet a person. Can I have 20 Gitas from you? Have you not seen? It happens. Multiple. But the person who starts doing something and then it gets a little difficult and then he stops, he cannot be empowered. No? So this is the third principle of empowerment. Embrace difficulty. What was the first principle? Be open and also detached, no, of your own plan. Second principle. Yeah. Yeah. Take shelter of Hare, Guru and Vaishnava. Yes, wonderful. And the third principle, embrace difficulties. Yes. And act, continue to act. And all of a sudden, whoop, it happens. My dear devotees, this works always. You have to operate, you have to maybe listen to this lecture again, take notes, and act on it, and you will see. Now, I said these are the 3 points, but you need to know one more point, and that is how to hold the empowerment, or how to keep it. Because we all have experienced at times that it goes. Like yesterday, I saw one of the brahmacharis dancing so, he was flying. He was touching the pictures of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and getting blessings from Hare, Gaura Hare. If you want to hold empowerment, you need to know what not to do. When the moment you become proud, and the moment you think it is me who is doing, everything leaves you. That's why you find Krishnadas Kaviraj at the end of each chapter saying, it's by the mercy of Rupa Raghunath, Rupa Raghunatha Pade. How was it? Hoibe, yeah? No, that's a song, yes. There is he says, I have, but that song is also nice, no? He writes this, I have this somewhere. Anyways, you see, I have so many notes on this, but I want to make it courtesy. Remain humble. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishna Das. No? Taking shelter of my teachers, Rupa and Raghunath, I, Krishna Das, try to narrate the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even Lord Brahma humbly prays to be empowered. And the way he prays is, please, my Lord, protect me from being affected by false ego and thinking I am the creator. Ho gaya. This is how you hold empowerment. 3 principles to become empowered, 1 principle to hold empowerment. No? My dear devotees, I really encourage you. I have heard initially about this from one very wonderful devotee. You might like to invite him. It's His Grace Sutapa Prabhu from the Bhaktivedanta Mena. He's the brahmachari trainer there. Very nice devotee. I don't know if he speaks Hindi. He doesn't. They speak English, England born, no? But he first gave this type of lecture, and then I thought about it a little and rearranged it according to my realization. It is really something very powerful. This morning, when I prepared for the lecture, I read through these notes, and I thought, oh my God, I have a situation in my life which I cannot really solve on my own, but I wish to do something for Prabhupada very strongly, and I will practice this myself. No? When I have a peaceful moment, I will read about it, I will make a plan, because it always works. So I don't want to say this is a special lecture. Who can say this? I'm not, thinking this is. But these are ideas from our shastras. They are not my ideas, and I have heard them from a wonderful devotee. So you might like to listen to the lecture again and and think about it deeply, what it could mean for your life now in the year 2021, no? How you can do. Because the worst thing that could happen to all of us is that we have come to this wonderful movement and then we stagnate at one point, no? And we are not experiencing the full blessings of Krishna consciousness. That would be such a grief. It would be so painful, no? If any one of us gets stuck. Fine. Our initial point was, we know so many things, but we are weak on our own to act accordingly. What can we do? And the answer is, we can beg for kripa, for divine empowerment, and then, as Prabhupada said, impossible is impossible. You know, impossible is a word in the food stick. It doesn't relate to a Krishna conscious person. Good. Let me now. I'm a little over time, so we can. I heard we can be a little longer today. Little. So who of you has a question? Hanuman was the first, and then our devotee. Yes, Hanuman.
Thank you, Maharaj. Damar Pranam. Maharaj, I have this question. I'm just put down here.
Mm-hmm.
This is in German. I just try to speak with my. I don't have the accent. I just use Google Translate to put a small question in German language. Can I ask you in German language?
Google translations are not always very clear. You know, those who have you used Google Translator, you have to edit it for clarity afterwards. And we are not here for joking. So you write, you say how you want. Say in German. Yes, of course in German. How else? Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj. Danke. Damrat Pranam. Ich möchte dich demutig Gnade bitten und mich segnen, dass ich Ihnen sehr guten Marathon habe, Srila Prabhupada Butcher, und ihr machate mich danke.
I understood everything.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, Hanuman. I sincerely wish you all the best, because every year Hanuman is our amazing distributor of books. Yes, I wish very well. I will pray to the deities that you can do extraordinary Hanuman like book distribution. Hare Krishna.
Thankful to you, and also very much grateful to you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. So who else is there? I saw one devotee in the back, please. And the German was quite well. I was surprised.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture. Maharaj, my question is, in the last point which you mentioned on how to get empowered, you mentioned that we should be ready to face all the hardships. But however, in certain situations when we go out for book distribution, especially for book distribution in the areas where it's very uncertain or where people are not very appreciative or even reluctant to take your books or even sometimes aggressive against you. So how do we not get afraid and still just push on with the process?
You definitely need something spiritual. I can only recommend to you to chant nice rounds before you go out, and to also read in the books. Prabhupada gave this advice to the German book distributors, who at one stage were really very, very good. you need to step up your sadhana, really, to get more spiritual. Prabhupada wrote about this. He said, now you must agree to very strictly follow the rules and regulations. In other words, chanting 16 rounds of beads daily, rising early, and attending Mangal Arati, observing the 4 principles, attending the classes, eating only Bhagavad Prasadam, as well as working under the instructions of my representatives, such as your GBC representative and temple president. And if you follow this procedure very strictly, then your life will be glorious, glorious, wow. And you will go back to home, back to Godhead. This I can guarantee. Prabhupada used to say, this is Prabhupada wrote, this I can guarantee. It's a letter from 73 to Ganeshyam. Ganeshyam was Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. He used to do things, my dear devotees, you can't imagine. He went into the universities and convinced universities, libraries in the university to make a pre-order of all of Prabhupada's books. Pre-order means all the books which would come in the future. No? He would show a few, these are what we have now, and you please order the upcoming volumes, And he would distribute. My dear devotees, I don't remember, but now, because of old age, but so many sets of books he distributed. We were fainting when we heard his results. It was not possible. So Prabhupada, he wanted to do this, and Prabhupada said, if you want to do this, here is your program. Follow the rules and regulations, which we have. He means here the devotional regulation, chanting 16 rounds, rising early, attending Mangal Arati, observing the 4 principles, attending the classes, eating only Bhagavad Prasadam. Then this will come. If you want to do higher work, you have to have a higher behavior. It's really like that.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
I thank you. Yes. Here is one Mataji, please let us, yes. It will be our last question for today because we run a little over time. Yes, Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, my throat is very bad. Maharaj,
yes.
As you mentioned the point, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's point, that if there is something big to do and the devotee has a desire, but not the capability, but if he does it, then the empowerment comes, something like that.
Yes, correct.
So I was thinking that time that when Krishna played his flute, then the gopis were doing different household activities. Some gopis were feeding the husband, the children, the in-laws, and they were doing household activities, and it was impossible for them to run away, leaving the married life and going for Krishna. They had the desire, not the capacity, and they did it. They went to Krishna, and Krishna rejected them. Krishna played the pastime, and he said, I can't join you now, you should all go back. And they said, nobody will accept us. And like in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Sar dharman paritajya. Leave all the dharmas. Mamekam, only Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Take shelter of me. And they had this faith, and they had this love, and they left so difficult task. And they knew that they'll not be accepted if Krishna will not accept. Still they ran away for Krishna. And when Bali Maharaj gave this benediction to Vamandev, and in 2 steps Vamandev covered everything. For the 3rd step he left nothing, and he was expecting him to give the third step demand. The Bali Maharaj was only focusing on the surrender part. He was not looking at the prestige. He was not looking at the upper planets that people are watching, the higher devotees or the demigods are watching, and what is my position? I'm bound up by a rope. He was just thinking how to give the third part. He was only focusing on that part, and he could do it. He also surrendered the third part as his own, showing that I'm not the giver. And he said, you keep the foot on my head. So as you said, the second point, that to get empowerment, we should go to Guru Vaishnava and the Lord. So I also request you and beg you that if I can only focus on surrendering to Krishna and nothing else. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh. I think when each one of us thinks about the next step in surrender, we understand we need blessings to do that. Because we have come to our limits and we can only cross the limits if there are such powerful blessings. And my dear devotees, this is a very serious talk. Some of you noticed, no? This is a very serious talk, yes. You have to understand the principles and then do it according to your present according to how you can do now. Okay, you ask now for Guru, Hari Guru Vaishnav's blessings. And you will ask tomorrow more, and tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, more. I have heard that when you do Giriraj Parikrama, and you have a very high desire, now, when you do Giriraj Parikrama, Giriraj walks with you and hears, what are you asking? But he may not fulfill the desire immediately. Instead he waits, what will he ask when he comes, or she asks when she comes the next year. And if it's the same, he may even wait another year. So sometimes the empowerment or the kripa comes after Krishna has tested us a little and investigated how serious are we really with this. I met one brahmachari, he had asked me, please bless me that I can stay brahmachari. So the next day I saw him, he was dressed in white. I said, you asked me yesterday one thing, and now, so we are like this. We are conditioned souls, We are sometimes not in full control of our life, So we are checked by Krishna, therefore, if we are sincere in our desire, if we really mean it, no? I thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here in the temple. Please keep on doing your wonderful seva. I cannot wait to come the next time, and I really must say, the altars, they are really extraordinary pieces of art. Our Raghava Chaitanya, now it's sannyasi name? Oh, that's a long name. This Maharaj has done with our sadhu, no? Really pieces of art. It really looks as if this is totally a different dimension, no? separate from the human being, but so much kripa that it extends or comes also to us. It is wonderful. It's devotional art. Oh my God! If you meet him, any one of you say, please say, I was totally impressed. I heard from Ajit Govinda that the changes were made, but I could not have imagined them to be so beautiful and so artful. Krishna. Good. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sisi Goni Tai ki, Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo.